following its decision to upend affirmative action. So critics are worried that the move is going to lead to far less diversity on college campuses now that schools are not allowed to consider race as a determining factor for admissions.
The impact could be huge for Georgia's public universities and even for HBCUs. 11 Alive's Doug Richards joining us now live from Georgia Tech with much more. Doug?
Yes, they predict, the critics of this decision predict that particularly elite campuses like Georgia Tech will enroll fewer students of color directly as a result of the Supreme Court ruling.
This is a sad day for America. It's a sad day for higher education.
Democratic State Representative Jasmine Clark says affirmative action programs helped college campuses reflect the demographics of the communities surrounding them. But as diversity, equity, and inclusion became toxic buzzwords among Republicans, many of them hoped the court would outlaw affirmative action.
Let's judge people by their rigor and what they can bring to the academic setting and not by the color of their skin.
It is a travesty for the nation.
Morehouse University President David Thomas says elite schools are expecting to lose up to 40% of their students of color following the Supreme Court's ruling. And he says Morehouse, a historically black college in Atlanta, will draw many of those applicants.
Would we have the resources, for example, to increase our student population by a third to a half? And today the answer would be no.
Dr. Thomas says that he predicts that the Supreme Court ruling will diminish the influence of college graduates of color because once they get into the community after graduating from lesser schools, they will be competing with the white students who replaced them at more prestigious schools for influential positions in society following the Supreme Court ruling. Live at Georgia Tech, Doug Richards, 11 Alive News.
All right, Doug, thanks a lot for the insight. By the way, folks, NBC Nightly News will have more on the Supreme Court's decision. That's at 6:30 right after 11 Alive News.